Preparing.
Live. It says we're live.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Melissa.
And I'm Rhonda.
And together we
YouTube.
are MaverickRx. I am outside today. Got out here, got all set up. Everything was looking good. And then my neighbor decided to mow. So I apologize.
That's why she's got the funky headphones.
So I've got the headphones and this mic up to my face.
And then we had Liz on.
Yes.
And we lost her.
She's
having some internet issues, so she's trying to hook up on her phone. So
we're hanging tight for a minute. We're hanging tight.
So that's why we're a few minutes late.
Good morning, Kate. How are you today?
Good morning.
So let's talk about the day, huh? What do you got going, Ron? You're going to work?
Yeah, working at DNA. That's about it today. I don't know what I'm going to make for dinner.
I'm doing tacos. Taco Tuesday. Good morning, Jessica.
Today is not Tuesday.
Oh, it's not.
It's Wednesday.
Well, in my head, it's Tuesday.
Not Taco Tuesday.
So it's
they
Taco
call it something
Tuesday.
else.
I know they do. Kate's peachy. Good morning, Laura. How are you?
Good morning.
We have technical issues for our guest this morning, which happens.
Having some internet issues.
So we're just kind of bullshitting here for a few.
That it's loading.
It's loading. We're getting there. So it looks like tomorrow is going to be the worst of the weather days for the week.
That's why I mowed last night, because I thought it was going to be.
Oh, 2 o'clock storm.
Excuse me.
There she is.
Excuse me. I thought it was going to be bad today. Hey, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
What happened? I'm so sorry.
It's okay. These things happen. We are very, very comfortable.
We're used to it. And our guests are also used to it.
Yeah. All the time stuff goes wrong.
This all the time?
Yeah.
I wonder how frustrated people get.
Oh, very. We get very frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get sometimes I won't, if I don't have internet, we can't go live because my internet is the internet that puts us live, right? So yeah, that's a problem. It's frustrating. Yeah, it's frustrating. I think my mower man is gone soon.
You think your dad's gone?
The mower man.
The mower
will be done soon.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So everybody, this is Liz, our friend Liz. Hello.
Say hello.
So
hi, Joe.
This is crazy. I've never done anything like this.
Yeah. So this is live right now on YouTube. I'm going to take the link and share it over to Facebook. So you guys, last night I was having this conversation with my kids, and I asked Rhonda if she knew anything about it, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to wait because I wonder if Liz knows anything about this, because Liz and I have kids that go to the same schools. So just to kind of bring those of you up to speed who don't know Liz taught at the Y. That's how we first met her years ago when the babies were babies. I mean, the kids were little.
Mm-hmm.
So like our kids went to the kids corner together, little kids.
And she actually taught my daughter a dance. She did a little bit of dance choreography at one point. So she did a dance, and she did Zumba classes, and that's back in the day. And then she's moved on, and now I see her sometimes at DNA for the run club stuff. I don't go to the run club, but she goes to the run club.
You do follow clips with us.
But I go to the stairs and do all that, and she does all the crazy stuff. She runs and swims and bikes for days.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Okay, so last night I'm talking to the kids, and we're like at the dinner table. I don't even know how it came up, and I like touched clay, and somehow Cal's like cheesecloth, and I said, "What did you say?" And he said, "Cheesecloth." It's like cheesecloth. I think that's the word. Is that the word, Rhonda?
You said cheese touch. I didn't.
Cheese touch. Yeah, cheese touch. Cheese touch. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then they start having this conversation, which happens, when like your kids start having this interesting conversation among them that you have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Cheese touch. is a thing. Evidently, they've all been doing. I said, do kids from Walkers do it? She's like, yeah. I said, do you do it still? She's like, not really. No, it's more like an elementary school thing. Evidently, cheese touch is this thing where they just go around and like someone will touch you and say cheese touch. And if you have your fingers or your ankles or your legs crossed, you can't take the cheese touch. You're not cheese touch. I'm like,
that's ridiculous. What the?
What was it? Wait,
and
what
all
was it?
3 of my kids know about this, right?
Never heard of
Second,
it.
4th, 7th grade.
I've never heard of this.
I've never heard of it either. It's like this thing that evidently the children do. I don't understand. What is that even like? Like, I don't even remember having something like that. It's like cooties.
It's kind of like nose goes.
Nose goes.
I know.
Maybe it's kind of like that.
They were in a phase not too long ago when they would neck each other. You guys know that?
Nope.
Did you say neck?
Yeah.
What is
Do
that?
you know that, Melissa? No?
It sounds familiar, but
They would just like hit each other on the neck and be like, neck. I guess it's a thing where like if you, I don't know, it was this thing with this hand gesture. If you're like this or you're like this or something and you look, you would have to neck them.
I don't get it.
I don't understand.
It's the strangest thing. And that's, I'm thinking like, who comes up with this stuff?
Right.
Am I the only mom who doesn't know about cheese touch? And do the teachers know about cheese touch? Like,
you
it's
know,
so
and
weird.
the school actually called me about the necking incident because they're touching each other, like hitting each other in the back of the neck, and you're not supposed to touch people. You know, you can't like, do that. So,
if you'd have known about cheese touch, you could have been like, well, you should have told them that then.
Right. There's gonna be there won't be any cheese touching now.
No cheese touching now. So what did they say when they called about the neck thing?
They're like, you know, we had to talk to the kids. It's like they have to call every parent that's involved. The kid that was necked, the person that necked them.
Yeah.
And these are all friends. So it's like
the
their
buddy
moms
thing
that know each other. So we're like, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Don't worry about it. It's not like they're hitting kids maliciously.
You're like, that's their game.
Right.
I remember when we were younger, my brother was in high school. Aaron says cheese touch is from the kids' movie Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Must have been from that book. When my brother was a senior in high school, they played this game, and it was like, I don't know if they used actual Nerf guns or some kind of, I don't know what it was, but it was like a serious game, and they still play it. It's like their initiation out of some sort of high school as senior boys. They still play it at that high school, which is interesting. I just think those kinds of things are kind of odd. Anyway, so tell us what you're up to now. I know you're in school.
Yeah.
So you guys know I was a group fitness instructor and personal trainer for a long time. That was my thing. And then I just kind of got to a point where I was just, I don't know, I wanted something more. I wanted to know, I don't know, just I was thinking, am I going to be like a personal trainer all my life?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And now I'm 34, but I had made the decision when I was
so old. She's so old, folks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I made the decision when I was 30 to go back to school. No, 30? No, 32. So just 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 2 years back in, starting all over again because I have to change my degree, my undergrad to science degree. So I'm finishing my undergrad in exercise science because when I had gone to school out of high school, I was there for interior design.
Oh, really?
So for arts. So nothing, there was like, you know, a few gen eds that were able to transfer, but pretty much I had to start all over.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm back in school, finishing my undergrad, and then I will hopefully get into Midwestern for my doctorate in physical therapy.
Okay.
So I like exercise, you know, that's my thing, and I figured this is a nice step forward.
Right.
And it keeps me busy and interested. Now that my kids are older, it's not that I'm not busy. They're so involved in sports and we do a lot of things, but
sure.
For me, you know?
Yeah, you got to have your own thing for sure.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So because you were gonna do a half Ironman, right, this summer? In
Yeah,
June,
so
right?
I
It was
love
supposed.
triathlon.
It was. Was this gonna be your first one? Like
My first
half?
half Ironman, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
a longer distance.
Right.
I really like the shorter distance, the sprints and the international distances.
Mhm.
Only because last year I made podium twice for the first time. So I was able to, place in my age group, which I've never done in the 7, 8 years I've done triathlon. So now I kind of want to do it more competitively. And I figured I want to do a half Ironman and eventually an Ironman at least once. But I'm not big on distance, but I just want to do it just to do it. Like I've done a marathon and that's fine, but I don't want to do it all the time. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
The shorter distances I like, but the half Ironman I was going to do in July still isn't canceled. Others have been canceled. This one's in Ohio. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how Ohio is doing. Maybe they're open. Maybe they don't have this many cases. I don't know. I haven't been up to date. But I can't race it. I haven't been swimming. I haven't swam in months. I'm not ready. I'm kind of working on my base, but I'm not progressing enough to do well. I can get through it, but even if they continue with it, I think I'm going to defer it for next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think it would be difficult for everybody who can't get into a pool or,
right.
I mean, I guess you could start swimming in open water now, but.
Where was the swim supposed to be for that race?
In a lake. It's a lake swim, a smaller lake swim. So it would be warmer. It wouldn't be as rough, but it's fine. It's not that I can't get through it. It's just I want to do well.
Yeah.
I want to train.
So what's the difference between, like a full triathlon is like, what is that?
So there are 4 distances of triathlon. You have a sprint triathlon, which is the shortest one. That's like a 1/4 mile swim, not even.
Yeah.
And then like 14-mile bike, and then a 5K, which is 3.1, 3.2 miles. So that's a sprint. And then the next one up is an international distance, or it used to be called an Olympic distance. That one is
just double that,
like
right?
Like a 0.9 mile swim, so almost a mile swim.
Okay.
And then like a 26 or 28 bike, and then 6.2 mile run, so a 10K.
Okay.
So that is international. And then this next one is the half Ironman, which is what I wanted to do. I've never done this distance before. And that's your 1.2 mile swim, 56-mile bike, and then your half marathon, which is 13.1 miles of running. And then your full Ironman, the bad boy, that totals, that's like a 2-mile swim, or 2 point something, I don't know, 2 mile, I don't know. And then 112 miles of biking, and then a full marathon, which is 26.2 miles of running. So those are the 4 different triathlon distances.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So the Ironman is the big boy. That's the one, that's like the ultimate bucket list. That makes marathon like a marathon.
What has been your fitness through the quarantine? Have you just mostly been like running and biking and stuff?
Yeah, because it was cold for a long time. I had to do a lot of things indoors. Thank goodness I have a gym, so half my basement is finished, and I have equipment and machines and weights, a treadmill. I have a trainer for my bike. And I have a little TV down there, so I can, spend some time there on the trainer on my bike. So I've been doing that indoors. But yeah, now with outside being nice, I just run and bike more outside. I try to change because I have a training plan, the times that I have to swim, which is a good 3 times a week. I've changed for strength training. So I've been, lifting weights and stuff, but it's just not the same. I don't have as much motivation. I'm not moving as much. So I know I've gained like 5 pounds. It's hard, but whatever. I'm fortunate to have a gym in my basement. There's a lot of people struggling to find bands and, dumbbells. anywhere.
Yeah.
So I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting how you say you've lost motivation. I feel like a lot of people have lost motivation.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it just is, it's so weird. It's kind of like everybody just got put on mute, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully now with the weather being nicer,
Oh yeah,
we'll get outside more. We're restless
Yeah.
at this point. We want to be out and we want to get our families out and be more active. So it'll get better.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Getting outside is definitely everything.
I think one of the things that we wanted to talk with you about, also in line with how the quarantine has sort of changed things. There is certainly, we have tomorrow, our guest is this woman named Valerie. She's from the Guardian Angel Network. And we're going to be doing a drive with her. And I don't know if you know about the Guardian Angel Network, but they provide services for women who are trying to leave a domestic abuse situation. And we have wanted to work with them for a little while. And then we talked with some of the police officers, and they mentioned that domestic abuse is at an all-time high because of the quarantine. And she and I just got to talking about like how this is affecting relationships. I think the guy things off. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I can hear the birds chirping and everything.
Yeah.
Great. And so I do think like the strain, and I know for myself, there have certainly been times through this where our marriage has hit a couple of just kind of bumps where we're fighting, we're kind of like at each other, just because it's like there's so much change for one of us and one of us not, you know. So I think all marriages are kind of going through sort of shifts during this quarantine. And then we noticed that you were teaching a class with Oscar, your husband, on marriage. So tell us a little bit about that class.
So we are a part of Calvary Church in Naperville. That's our home church. Mm-hmm. And we've become certified marriage mentors. This was a few years ago. So from there, we have the opportunity to host a small group, which is what we're doing now. And we have worked with couples individually as well. It's not counseling because we're not counselors, mm-hmm. but it's just like mentoring. Mm-hmm. Either new marriages or marriages struggling or marriages that just want to, you know, enhance their relationship. So the small group that we're doing, it's with us and 3 other couples that have joined, and we're doing it via Zoom, kind of like just like this. Mm-hmm. Every Thursday for an hour. We have a video that each couple we're supposed to watch together, and then we talk about it. I've been given, you know, kind of like a guidelines and right. questions to ask, and so that we can get engaged. And you know, it's a nice way of, you know, Christian fellowship to get together and think about what's happening right now and how we are, you know, how we should be interacting with one another and where we can do better and, you know, where we are strong. And, you know, so it talks about everything. Mm-hmm. The session is called You and Me Forever. It's by Francis Chan and Lisa Chan. I don't know if you guys know this, but here's the guideline that we're doing. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So it kind of comes like with the curriculum.
Yeah. And we, you know, we follow the questions and we, you know, we go through it all. And hold on. Julian, have a lot of water, please. My son just came and he's holding up an Advil. I guess he has a headache.
So you were doing these classes obviously prior to the quarantine too. You were doing.
Well, this class is just for like over Zoom, but mm-hmm. no, we started this in quarantine.
So you started the whole marriage mentor thing in quarantine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. This small group class.
Okay, but what were you doing before?
So before, as marriage mentors, we were able to meet people face to face. You know, like I said, the people that need help in their marriages or new in their marriages.
How did you get into all of this? What brought you into?
Well, they offer a ton of classes and
Okay.
things to get involved in Calvary.
Mhm.
And that was just something that Oscar and I thought was a good fit. There's a lot of
Mhm.
different areas that you can work and to help people, and that just worked for us as a couple.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So have you guys seen in these conversations like trends in the tension in marriage during the quarantine?
Not really. There are some things that we can work on. One of the things that we talked about in the last session was like self-control and emotions, things like that. And this can stem into your children too in your family life.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah,
how
for sure.
we can get so irritable and frustrated, especially during this time, being restless in our inside of our homes. So it's just about how to manage our emotions and how to consider each other and what your spouse really is to you in God's eyes. Not your spouse isn't just there to help you do things and whatever. Your spouse is also a child of God, like you are, like everybody is. And we need to think about that also and treat them how God sees them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that we don't treat our spouses, poorly, but there are situations and relationships that you do, like you had mentioned, people in domestic violent situations.
Well, and I think just generally it's easy to take each other for granted.
Yeah.
I remember when we were first getting married, how like you go to your showers and stuff and everybody gives you like a little bit of advice. Do you guys remember this when you're like at a wedding shower, right? One of my friends gave me a piece of advice at my engagement party, I think it was, and she said, you should always save the best of yourself for when you come home. You shouldn't like unload in your home. That's not the place to just crap on everybody, right? Like in your home is where you're supposed to be the best of yourself. And that has always really struck me as a mother and as a wife. It's hard because there are certainly days when you're like, I'm just, like spent, but that was the one piece of advice through all of those little things that has stuck, for 15 years.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Frank and I did before we got married, we did this class. It was one of the things our church at the time required of us. It was like, and it was with a group, but what I think was helpful about it, it was with kind of older couples. And they were very mentoring to us because it was quite a few, and it was called Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts kind of thing. So kind of just, and I mean, we've had a lot of valleys for sure. So yeah, right.
20 years. You guys have been together 20 years. How do you not?
Yeah, it's over 20. We've been together like 25 and we've been married 22. I think this last year was 22. But yeah, it's been it's a lot.
Marathon. It's not a sprint.
That's right. Oscar and I have been together for 20 years and married for almost 13.
So you started dating when you guys were 14? Or yeah, no. Help me with the math here.
So she's
freshman year of high school. Yeah.
Yeah, so 14. I was right.
You were right. Yeah. It's so she's 34.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did that right. That was an easy one.
Good job, Rhonda.
She got it, guys. She got it. Yeah,
wow.
My folks are like that. They started dating when my mom was young. They've been together 51 years.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
I know, right? I love it. And they have definitely had their share of, who hasn't? How can you live with anyone? First of all, I've said this to my kids, like when they are arguing with each other. You can't live with someone and get along all the time. You have someone else in your space constantly.
Sure.
And you all
Yeah.
have different expectations and you're all different people. So you put them all in the same, four walls, and there's going to be tension. It's going to happen. It's just
it's how we react to each other. Mm-hmm. Even though we don't disagree, or we do disagree, and we don't have the same mentality for one subject as the other one does. That's totally fine and acceptable. We all have our own opinions and our own minds and our free will. That's fine, but you still need to have that respect with the others in the family and with your spouse. We don't agree on some things, but that doesn't mean one of us is wrong or right or should be reprimanded for it. It's, we just accept it and understand it.
Yeah.
And that's how we should be with people in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People that we don't agree with their lifestyle or what they're doing. It's none of our business.
Right.
Exactly. It's not our business. I agree with you.
We take care of us and how we react to it.
And sometimes we need to be that way with our children.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a difficult one, I might add.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And you have to let them grow and have their own mind and learn for themselves.
Yeah.
But even if they don't agree, it's the self-control. I don't know about you, Melissa, with your boys, if they're into gaming, but my boys are. And Julian, he's 11, so he's going into 6th grade now. Mm-hmm. He and his friends are always yelling. Oh. They're like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing?" Like yelling at each other. I hear it from the other side of the house.
Yep.
And then whether it's good yelling or bad yelling, or because sometimes they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're awesome, keep going, keep going."
Yeah, and then sometimes they're like, "You suck."
Yes.
That's what I hear all the time. You're terrible. I'm like, I'll walk down and be like, "Who are you saying that to?"
Yes.
Like, come on, man. Don't be a bully in the game.
And they're all talking like that to each other.
I know. No, I am with you. And actually, my youngest, so Clay is going to be 9. And he's been playing for a little while, but he didn't start really yelling and screaming until recently, because now he has the headset and the friends. Yeah. As soon as the quarantine started, they're all like, "Let's figure this out." It is loud all the time. I mean,
that's where self-control comes in. And we need to practice that with our kids and teach them. You can be upset and you can have your opinions about what that person just did, but have some control.
Yeah, have some control. I shouldn't be able to hear you from my bedroom when you're in the basement.
Right.
Yeah.
And when we're mad or something happens with us, we need to do that too. Yeah. Because as a mom, sometimes, I freak out and then, a swear word comes out or something, and I'm like,
yeah.
And then that doesn't happen often because I really tried my hardest to practice self-control. I'm really conscious of it. But when it does happen, afterwards, I just feel so awful. I tell my kids, I'm like, "I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. That was not how I should have reacted.
Right.
It's not your fault. Mom was just upset because of this. I need to do better."
Just talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, we did. We had a conversation yesterday about mom guilt. And that's one, that is like up there on the list of things that I feel guilty about, is after I have, because I, like you, try to keep it together as much as I can. I try not to be totally freak out. But there are some times where I just lose my self-control. And then I feel terrible. Like after the last one was the stupidest thing ever. My kids know that I like to eat pudding and Cool Whip at night. I don't do it every night, but it's like a treat that's not terrible for me, right? It's not like I'm eating a freaking thing of ice cream. So I go in the refrigerator and there's no Cool Whip in the container, but it's in the refrigerator.
I hate that.
I lost it. I lost it. I was out. Just out of my mind.
We all can lose it here at this house. It's called, we have Italian syndrome at this household.
Yeah.
And we all have a little bit of a hot-headedness. My husband's number one. He's got 100% Sicilian, so he's full blown hothead. And both my girls have, I don't know, they equally. I would say I'm last.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
I don't see you as the hothead, Rhonda.
No, if I get mad, they actually all start laughing at me. And it becomes like this big joke.
That's
like one,
awful.
It was not a couple weeks ago. I was really in a bad mood, and I was just like, I don't know. I was just, and we're talking about how they just everybody makes a mess, and I clean it up, and then it's undone. And I just was like, was feeling really irritated. I was probably really PMSing at a really high level. And I was just like yelling at Frank, yelling at the girls, and they all just start busting out laughing. And I'm like, they're like, we just can't take you serious. I'm like, that's great. They're like, if Dad was yelling, it would be a totally different scenario. We'd actually be up in our rooms, probably maybe crying. I'm like, oh, that's great.
Well, hey,
yeah, I feel like I hate when they don't take you seriously. You know?
Frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and I tell them, like, they don't listen.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you have your set of things to do. Why haven't you done them?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like they just have no respect for what I say. Sometimes, not all the time, but like sometimes, like every day,
Same
I have
thing.
on the whiteboard. Every day, I have a list of chores for them to complete for the day. And then they can cross it off, whatever, and they say, you know, this one's Gavin's, this one's Julian's, whatever. They get it done throughout the day. And then they also have their workouts. So I have their workouts written down also. So, okay, do your chores, do your workouts, and then you're free to do whatever you want. You have all day. Seriously, their workout, it takes them 20 minutes. I mean, they run so fast. They just get it done, and then, you know, they lift some weights and stuff. They're quick. It's like 20 minutes out of your day. Your chores, probably another 20 minutes. That's like an hour of you doing family stuff, like taking care of your house stuff. So when they don't do it, or they get up at 2 o'clock and they're not doing chores until 6 p.m., I'm like, hello?
Yeah.
Where's the respect, though?
I know.
Like, because I've already cleaned the house. Because the chores aren't done.
The thing that I find irritating about that, and I have the same situation. I mean, every day, it's like, even just say, could you just go brush your teeth after breakfast? Just go do it when I say to do it, right? Like, don't do it. Don't be like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. No, just go do it.
Right.
Right? Like, and then it's done, and I don't have to nag you, because I don't want to be a nag, but I
am.
You put me in that position by not doing the thing when I say to do the thing. We had this conversation last night.
I did. You didn't clean your room. Yes, I did. Okay, let's walk into your room and go see if it's clean. It's not clean. Don't tell me it is. Like, have some respect. What I say, you need to take seriously and do it.
Yeah, I know. I walked in. So I went to pray with Francesca, because I pray with her, and then I still kind of lay with the Angelinas. I know, it's crazy. But anyway,
I love that.
I go in with Francesca, and she's got a pile of clothes on her desk, and of course her dirty's on the floor. And I said, you have to clean your room tomorrow. I know. And that's what I'll get. But will it get done? We'll see. I think I'm gonna tell her today, no fun, because you know she's 17, so she's always got a new agenda.
Right.
Yesterday she went fishing.
Nice.
In the backyard?
No, she went with her friend Haley fishing, and she actually hooked the fish and took it off. I couldn't believe it.
That's awesome.
Like, you had never done that in front of me and Dad, I don't think.
So I told the kids they have to earn their time on their free time. The only way to get their free time is if they get the stuff done that I tell them to do.
That's a good one.
So now the Fortnite doesn't start until like 6 o'clock at night.
Gotcha.
They just lay around. They're like lazy, and I'm dragging them around trying to get them to do anything. It's frustrating. That's for sure. Yeah, I know. I think I would say it's the quarantine, but it's not. It's just motherhood. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, like, my kids are, right now, Julian would be in soccer, and Gavin would be in track. Oh, and they'd be starting Under the Lights. So football. And they have agility training that they do. So they're busy 5 days a week and they're training hard. So they're not working out right now. So I told them, you need to at least be running a mile a day. They're not distant. That's fine. And they're kids. You know, Gavin in track, he's a sprinter. His thing is a 400. So that's what he does. That's fine. So a mile is fine. Like, you don't have to do more than that. But you guys, it's like 20 minutes a day.
Not even. I know.
2 hours a day you guys would be working out. This is nothing. And you know what they said? They're like, Mom, nobody else is going to be in shape when we get
I hear that all the time.
I be like everybody else?
You know what? That is the thing that ticks me off the most, because so Angelina is actually pretty good. She's just does her workouts. She has connected that she feels better after she works out. Nice. She likes to go for bike rides. She even likes to go for walks with me. The other one though is like, I'm like, have you worked out? Have you done this? Let's go for a walk. She's like, I'm dancing. I'm like, you're doing virtual dance 2 days a week. That is not enough. Right. You know, like, that is not cutting it, my friend. And she'll get like frustrated with me when I say stuff, and she'll be like, none of the other dance girls are working out either. I'm like, I don't care. Like, you're going to be so out of shape by the time Palms does stuff. I mean,
why do they even say the thing about the other kids? Like Grace and Cal both would be like, well, all the other kids have a phone. All the other kids have a phone. I don't care about the other kids.
Don't they realize that almost like infuriates us more?
Yeah, you're my responsibility. My responsibility is taking care of you and your body and brain, not theirs. I tell you.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with social media. It's the same thing. My kids don't have social media, you know, and they're like, what? And Gavin, especially because he's 13, you know, he's Grace's age and they're friends. And they're going into 8th grade now, and everybody has social media. Why can't I have social media? Why can't I? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, there are some things that happen there.
Oh, no. Yeah, I totally regret it. Because now that I've gone there, I'm like, okay, what can I pull? What can I?
Yes. Angelina doesn't have it
all the time. And I think I'm going to have to if he has social media. And I don't have time to be checking his phone every second.
Yeah, I need to check her text more than anything, I think, because you can't, the stupid Snapchat, it's gone, so you can't see, you know?
Right. That's why I'm fine with the text messaging.
Yeah.
I used to,
then I just look at it.
With Francesca, when she didn't get, her first social media was in 8th grade, and she got Snapchat because that's what was popular. And so for a while, what I would do is I would say, game on, it's if I feel the need to open snaps, I will. So I did occasionally do snap checks from certain people and I would just open them and I would tell her like, hey, I opened this. So this is what was said, or just because I wanted her to know that I was lurking.
Big brother.
Kind of. Right. That she has to be accountable to me. And if she wanted to keep it, then she had to make sure it was in those guidelines. But now, I mean, she's 17, so I kind of just, you know, at some point you start letting things. I don't really check anymore. I shouldn't tell her that, but I don't like.
Did you say you should tell her that, or?
I said, yeah, I shouldn't tell her that I don't check anymore, but. You know, she's 17 now. I don't know if I want to know, like if she's safe. Right. You know, at some point I have to respect her privacy. So, and she's a good kid, so I'm not gonna.
My dog is just chewed. You know how like on your cushions on your patio, it has the little ties, so the ties attached to the chairs. As we're sitting here, my dog is eating off two of them. Now I have to cut them all off, or else it's going to look weird.
I think TikTok is the worst of all of them. I think TikTok is.
Well, TikTok is
over
just
my daughter.
It's a very odd form of entertainment, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So as we were talking about the kids and their workouts, my cousin Kate said that her son, it's the same thing. He's 17 and he's going to play college baseball.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah. And she said that she told him the person who's working out is going to get your spot.
That's right.
You know, like
That's right.
if you want to be the one that comes in good shape, then you're going to play more, you're going to get more action than the guy that isn't. No.
Right. Well, they don't realize. They don't
Well,
realize
and
how
it's not
quick.
so much about, competing with other people. It's that, for instance, Gavin was doing so well in track last year. I don't want him to lose it. And in football, he just like totally shined. Like his running is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
He's so powerful in his runs. And I just don't want him to lose that.
Yeah.
It's not so much about being better than the other kids.
No.
Because when he
Not
starts
now,
again,
but if you're going
slow.
if you're in college, it certainly would be.
Sure.
Yeah, but not now. No.
I don't want him to have to struggle so much to
Right.
get
it back.
athleticism back. Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it's so good for them mentally just to keep their bodies moving anyway. So.
Right. I mean, and right now they're like a batch of hormones. Holy Moses.
Yeah.
Like you guys need to run. Like lift some weights, get some aggression out.
Seriously, they're Grace, 13-year-old Grace, man, emotional exercise is required. Like, you know what I mean? Like just for even my own hormones to keep them balanced. If I don't exercise, I'm a nut. I don't know how to be going through and like starting all of it without exercise. I know I didn't. I wasn't not at all an exerciser in junior high, I'm sure my mom probably thought the same thing about me. She needs to get some exercise.
Yeah, that's true. Me too. I didn't start exercising until I think like senior year of high school.
Yeah, I didn't really get into exercise till college. And that was because I needed to after the old freshman 15.
I've always been I always was pretty active.
Yeah.
I played softball and basketball in junior high and through my freshman year. And then I swam all through high school. So I was always pretty active. And what did you say?
Do you miss swimming?
Yeah, I'm missing swimming. I would swim my workout. I would have one swim workout a week was typical on my workout agenda. So I am missing that. Miss the pool a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, ladies, we need to wrap it up. We could sit here and chat all day.
We can keep talking all day.
Yeah, I have to get ready to head to DNA today. I work at.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So.
I just got some shoes not too long ago, some new shoes.
Oh, good.
Delivered them right to my door. So thank you, DNA. You guys are awesome.
Yes. So today's is the pursuit. Thought this was kind of fitting. Anyway, what is it about romance movies that keeps us coming back for more? Each one is simply a story about two people, but the intrigue of connection and the mystery of how it happens arrests our hearts, minds, and souls every time. The beauty of pursuit, of being discovered, loved, and held satisfies, if only for a moment, that deep soul desire we feel in real life. But romance isn't just a Hollywood fabrication. You have a lover, a pursuer, a soulmate who desires to lavish you with love, to look at you in utter delight and declare your beauty and infinite worth, to embrace you with a love that will never let you go. Will you come to rest in the warmth of his embrace? Choose how you want to see the story end and watch how real passion begins. Romans 8, verse 38, nothing can ever separate us from his love. Death can't and life can't. The angels won't, and all the powers of hell itself cannot keep God's love away. And Luke 19, verse 10, for the Son of Man has come to seek and to save the lost. I was like thinking with marriage and all that kind of stuff.
I like those. Thank you, Rhonda, for sharing that today.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
All right, guys, we will see you tomorrow. Liz, thank you so much for coming today.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe
It's
we'll
good
see
to
it.
see you.
We'll see it. Maybe the one of the run events. I have finally got the Facebook group, so now I know what's happening in the run event.
Good. Yeah, I hope to see you guys now
Yeah,
that
I
we
know.
find out more.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. All right, so we will see you guys tomorrow, same time on Facebook, and we have Valerie with the Guardian Angels joining us. So we will
Yep.
see you then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.